So very good evening everyone. This side Sanu, founder of FLAMES CLAT, and today we have a very special guest or my ex-student Shreya Reji. So who is currently in NLU Delhi, right? So before starting the session, let me tell you something brief about Shreya Reji. So she is our Super 40 student last year. She has been here for regarding the preparation of both CLAT and AILET. But आज भी मुझे याद है, still I remember those days that when she is here, she is more about to focus on Nalsar and NS Bangalore. She is more CLAT oriented, right? But she got a rank of nearby 1400, if I'm not wrong, 1400 rank in CLAT, and she got a rank of AIR 21 in AILET. So you guys can see the importance of AILET, that how we have to focus on both the exam on a very serious note. When I'm saying this, that we all have a dream to go into NS Bangalore, we all have a dream to crack the CLAT, right? But we don't know about our situation on the D day. तैयारी हम सब कर रहे हैं कि क्लैट हो जाए, बट डी डे पर क्या होगा हम नहीं जानते हैं. सो जब तैयारी करो तो यू हैव टू ऑल्सो फोकस ऑन द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ द एलिट एनएलयू दिल्ली. बिकॉज इन द लास्ट 5 year ऑफ माई एक्सपीरियंस मैंने क्या देखा है कि बहुत सारे बच्चे क्लैट में डी डे पे परफॉर्म नहीं करे, इरिस्पेक्टिव ऑफ देयर गुड मार्क्स स्कोर. Even the Shreya Reji was getting good score in the mock, nearby 100, 95, 90. But on the D day, they was not with her. As simple as this. That's why she got a rank of 1400 in CLAT. She was completely shattered. I still remember the day. She was very emotional at the senti at the same time. I don't know. But she prepared again because जैसे ही क्लैट खत्म हुआ हमारे यहाँ एलेट की तैयारी स्टार्ट हो जाती है, साल भर भी होती है. उसके बाद मॉर्निंग में क्लास स्टार्ट हो गया और वी वेर एबल टू got a selection of nearby 8 to 9 aspirants in NLU Delhi. She is one of them. So journey, from CLAT AIR 1400 nearby to AIR 21 is not something easy. Why this journey is not easy? Why her journey is so inspirational? Because आप समझ रहे हो, आप डी डे पर परफॉर्म किए और आपकी परफॉर्मेंस अच्छी नहीं गई. लास्ट ईयर पेपर वॉज टू इजी. नाउ व्हाट अबाउट योर मेंटल हेल्थ? If somehow you could not perform well on the D day, there would be lots of negativity on the same day. Now I could not qualify AILET 2 because I could not perform well in the one paper. How would I manage this? Or there would be only 7 day gap between the two paper. No difference is only 7 day. At that point of time, your all the skill, your all the hard work, your all the dedication is something लगता है कि कहीं नीचे गिर गया. Now you have to control your emotion first. Now you have to start stabilizing, start maintaining or balancing your mental health. Because अब वापस एक पेपर को देना है 7 days. नेक्स्ट संडे एलेट है. और यू नो द फैक्ट दैट जब तुम पेपर देकर आओगे क्लैट में, उसी टाइम तुम्हें समझ में आ जाएगा तुम्हारा सिलेक्शन हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है. You don't need to watch any analysis video. You don't wanted to see the OMRC because the kind of potential the person who actually attended the paper, that person actually knew that उसने कैसा परफॉर्म किया. As simple as this. तुम पेपर देने के 2 से 4 PM पे पेपर खत्म हुआ, 4-5 PM पे यू आर वेरी क्लियर, यू विल बी वेरी क्लियर कि तुम्हारा क्या परफॉर्मेंस रहा. एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम शी वाज सैटर्ड. इवन हर नेटवर्क कनेक्शन वाज नॉट ग्रेट. आई स्टिल रिमेंबर द डे, रेनी ना, आई गेस बहुत बारिश हो रही थी. देयर वाज सो मच रेन इन हर लोकेलिटी. सो उस प्रेशर को देखना और देन अगेन गोइंग टू अटेम्प्ट फॉर ए नेक्स्ट पेपर दैट इज एलिट. Or this time you came with a flying color. Are you getting the value of hard work? Are you getting the value of mental health? Are you guys understanding the value of self-belief? Life will give you n number of opportunity. If you could not perform well in one opportunity, it doesn't mean that all doors are closed. कुछ ना कुछ नया रास्ता खुलेगा. It same happened with her. When he sent me the rank, sir, I got AI-21. I was so proud. I sent her a cake and I guess family के साथ, मम्मा के साथ, I had a word with her mom. Even during the preparation at one time, she could not figure it out that how to balance the classes of flames, how could balance her own academic things. I had a word with her mom. कि sir, this is something. And we come up with a conclusion that how to balance. I made her a routine. I still remember those days, right? So that's why I texted her 2 days back. कि Shreya, let's come to this place. It's your time. It's your time and it's your responsibility to tackle, to give some kind of insightful thing to your juniors, to your younger brothers, sister or friend who are going to attempt this paper this year too. Last year, Shreya was on the same shoe the way you guys are right now. She was on the same shoe. She was also facing the low mock score. Even the mocks were stagnant at point of time. She could not figure it out. The shoe, no, the situation were same. Just 6 months ago, just 7th month ago, just 8 months ago. She was on the same situation. बट आखिर में जीत किसकी हुई? श्रेया के हार्डवर्क की हुई. So this is something you guys learned the importance of this session. You guys have to understand that why she is here. So the major important part to be with you right now to tell them the reality check where they are right now. There should be no buttering. Give them a very reality check that how they are doing right now. Whatever they are doing right now, what should be the further journey for them? Because you have been in this place. You know the kind of academics pressure of this place, that kind of environment to get selection to maintain the 80% legacy of this place. There's a different factor of this place, right? So tell them that some of them are not so serious about the elite. I am telling that please focus on elite too, but they're not sincere, they're not serious because everyone wanted to go in Bangalore, right? Everyone wanted to crack CLAT, but you know the importance of this paper, right? So it's over to you, Shreya, and it's really great. And thank you so much for being here, Shreya. It means a lot for me.
Some info is that I was a dropper. I attempted CLAT the first time in 2023. I'd gotten a 760 rank, and then I attempted CLAT again, and my rank doubled. It came to 1418. So it was kind of horrifying. I was shattered because this was after a year of prep. But Flames was really, really encouraging, and it was really nice. And I understand that. With AILET, there's always this stigma or this mindset that there's 120 seats. What's going to happen? Why should I even attempt it? Because I was facing the same thing. I was like, oh, if CLAT is not even, if with so many seats, if CLAT is not working out, why should I even give AILET again? But trust me, you guys, I'm sure all of you are preparing very, very hard for CLAT now. CLAT and AILET are almost like cousins. There's little more. There's the added touch of analytical reasoning. That's all there is extra to AILET. So please prep for that because it's going to be really helpful. And don't walk into the exam with the mentality that it's not going to work out just because of the number of seats, because as they are. It's really this year's paper was a surprise for me, and it was awesome. I was able to attempt it, and I was a lot more calm than when I was attempting CLAT, because CLAT was where I built up all the pressure for. I was like, oh my gosh, it's D-Day, what's going to happen? How can I even write this paper? But AILET was, that pressure was gone. I realized I tanked CLAT. I was like, okay, this is just another exam. What am I going to do? I was actually very, very calm when I was writing the exam because it was like kind of my last resort, and it worked well. So don't worry so much about the exam. It's important. You show up every day, and I'm not saying you have to give your 100% every day. We're all humans. It's difficult to. So it's just show up. At least if you can't give 100, give 90, give 80, give 70, but show up every day. It's a matter of integrity. And now I'd like to talk about Flames. I'm sure, I'm assuming you guys have been here as part of the Kalam batches for maybe 2 or 3 months, and I'm even longer than that. So you guys don't need to worry about competition outside, or you don't even have to worry about the CLAT paper, because I was not worried about the CLAT paper, or I was not super worried. What I was worried about was the Flames mock next week. Because CLAT, I know I can do. I know I can handle CLAT. They have a pattern. But Flames is where the real challenge is. It gets to a point where, like, okay, it's CLAT because I've already done the Flames mock. So they're really challenging. You don't know what's coming next, but that's the best part, because that's what the CLAT 2024 paper was like to me, because I went in expecting something, and they came up, it was like a complete 180 over what they usually do. The Flames mocks had prepped me for that. The feeling of kind of like utter shock at like, oh my gosh, what is this paper? Was something I was experiencing almost weekly. So it was not such a stark contrast for me. So do well, listen to, I'm sure in your study groups, I bet that there's still at 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock, there are people sitting and asking doubts, and the mentors are replying well and all. That's I know that's you're already feeling a little tense, but that's good. The healthy competition or healthy pressure is good in a way. So you don't rest on your laurels. You don't get complacent when that happens. So I know it's really stressful now when it's people are at the peak of their preparation. No, but you're doing well. Just go with the flow and make sure that you're prepping, and other people I'm sure are you don't have to worry so much about prep when you're in an environment like Flames. There's people asking questions, there's regular classes. You'll get into the flow of things. I'd like to talk about CLAT versus AILET. Maybe a lot of you are like me who are really banking on CLAT, and I was one thing about me. It's maybe a little arrogant to mention, but I was really confident that I would do really well in CLAT. I was like, wow, this is CLAT. I'm set for CLAT. Two things didn't work in my favor. Didn't work in my favor. First thing, I was December 2023. There was a flood in Chennai. So December 3rd was CLAT. December 4th, the flood started. So in the midst of all the flood and all, I had to go write the paper. That was not great for going up there and writing an exam center. You have to kind of trudge through water to get to the center. That kind of threw me off a lot. The second thing was the paper, because I'm sure all of you must have practiced the PYQs and you must have seen 2023. So when you walk into an exam like that and you get CLAT 2024, it was a shock. So after this, I was all these people had released the keys and all. Many people around me were happy, and I had a few of my classmates writing the exam and all. So after I'd come out of the exam center, they were all really happy. They're like, "Oh, it's so easy! That wow, that was so simple. I'm going to get into NLS." I heard one of my students, one of my juniors say. But I'd written enough Flames mocks, written enough mocks know that if you found the paper so easy, there are 100 other people who will find the paper much more easier than you. So the cutoffs are relative, obviously. So don't be so overjoyous that you forget about AILET or forget about the upcoming exams. You've done an exam, well, great. Maybe celebrate for now, celebrate for us. Then move on to your prep. Because once you find out, once you've cemented a college, once you've gotten a college, the next 5 or 6 months, it's going to be a party for you. So it's going to be really nice. So just focus when you're doing this. And I was really dejected after my favorite memory of December 3rd was it was raining also, and I kind of checked out all. Or I checked out all my answers, and I was another tip. Once you've written CLAT or once you've written an exam, don't go to Telegram or Discord or Reddit. Your mental health has to be safe for the next 1 week. None of these places are conducive for that, because I was hearing people. I had gotten, I think, an 87 or something out of 120 according to the first mark list, the first answer key they released. And I'm hearing people online say that I've gotten 105, I've gotten 110. I was floored, because a lot of these people are like, oh, it's my first time attempting, and I was like, it kind of struck me to my core, because I've spent a year prepping, I've spent a year doing all this. Some guy who's in 12th and so on, I was like, what is my prep? What am I? There are a lot of existential questions coming to play. Don't focus. And then I realized after some time that it's social media. People obviously have the tendency to exaggerate or lie a lot. So don't bank on that. But also move on with your prep, because all the 102ers and the 105ers are not going to write the next exam for you. You have to write the next exam. So it's important that you're honest to yourself and that you put in the next day's work for yourself, because you only have to face the next 2 hours. And it's really, I faced this in mocks where let's say I was kind of a little free the other day, or I didn't focus that much on a Saturday, and then like this next Sunday I had a mock. I remember the feeling of guilt when I used to look at a paper. I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? I could have studied for all this. This was in the GK last time. This was in the short shots. This was in the CLAT calculator. Why didn't I do this? So it's really it takes a mental toll on you when you know that there are things that you could have done, and when you haven't done them, the guilt of that is even worse in a bad rank. You'll be like, oh, this is something that I could have done, or this is something that was in my midst, but I didn't do it. So just be honest to yourself. That's all. Even if CLAT or AILET doesn't work out, it's at least once you have you'll feel a lot better once you know that you've done the best you could. That this I've done 110%. I've been honest to myself. I've been honest to Shanu sir. I've been honest to my peers. That's enough. And a lot of people, AILET, I understand that many people are probably wondering, is AILET worth it? I know there's a lot of dilly dallying about AILET because I'd also I just focused on CLAT. This is the mistake I'd made up until maybe September, October. I hadn't focused on AILET at all because I was like, oh, okay, CLAT is there. Why should I worry about AILET? AILET, there's no chance of even me giving AILET with the rank and the scores and whatnot. But don't. It's first off, AILET worked for me. I mean, it's a big blessing. And the prep I did eventually in those months helped a lot. What I'm saying is make it easier for yourself. Start prepping from now itself for AILET because AR is not as difficult and especially NLUD or AILET's AR. I know that the PYQs look very, very intimidating, but once you get to it, it's actually that's something that had happened to me in the exam. Some of these questions, I'm not sure if you guys tried AILET 2024. There are a lot of seating and arrangement questions. When I was giving them in the exam, I was blank. I was like, what is going on? I don't understand what this is. But I'd come back, I'd done all the syllogisms, I'd done all that. When I came back, I realized it was a matter of elimination. It's don't just gauge it on face value or don't gauge it by how simple it looks or how difficult it looks. Even the really, really simple questions that you think they're like, oh, this will take me 1 minute, maybe I'll leave it later. They will come back and they will bite you. So just make sure you can gauge the level of questions. And it's okay if I'll talk about AR right now, and it's all right if you can leave. It's okay. Don't leave a lot of questions. Don't leave a lot of things to chance. But once if you feel that you can't do this question at all, leave it for that and come back after you're done, so that you'll also the rest of your questions aren't just going up in flames. Aren't just you're not leaving them at jeopardy. You can come back and you'll be a lot more calm also. When you realize that I don't have like 50 other questions to attempt, you can come back. Your mindset will also sort of cool down a lot once you realize that you've kind of done without the paper and you can do this. And focus this year, I think they focused a lot on, I believe, syllogisms and maybe verbal AR. Focus on that. I even my AR prep was a lot of clock and dates and time and dates, calendars and all. Focus on that, but also focus on the verbal or the English part of AR. Don't discount that because that will also show up in the paper a lot.
So I hope that you guys could grade the crux that what she wanted to say. It's all about that the mental stability. It's all about the approach that how she tackled both the paper, right? She also mentioned some few points regarding that how she was so confident about the CLAT, but CLAT did not went well. That's how D-Day matters, right? Confidence is something very good thing, but it doesn't give you 100% assurance that you will perform well. She did not get too much bothered about AILET, but she did well because she actually did so much hard work on herself during her preparation. The major thing is that how you are devoting your time in your present and how your present action can change the future possibilities. It's all about the present actions, whatever you are putting in yourself. There is one question which I just received that Shreya, just let them know that how you actually attempted the AILET paper. What's your strategy to attempt AILET mock?
I think for a lot of people, the attempt strategy is different. I'll tell you what I did. This was the order I preferred or what worked for me. So I did this on the day of the exam as well. So what I did was I started off. We have you can say 10 minutes. 10 is giving it a lot, but give it 10 minutes in case you mess up in your OMR or something. Let's say you take 10 minutes to write down your OMR or fill in all the OMR details. Then you have around 1 hour 50 to attempt the rest of the paper. So what I did was I started off with English. English was my strong suit, so that worked out well for me. And GK, I could finish both of this in around 45-50 minutes. So AR was not my strong suit, so I needed more time for that. So I started off with English and then I did GK. English is AILET's English. It's maybe for lack of a better word, it's a lot of fun and maybe not the time to mention it. But see, you guys are going to be preparing for like 6 months. longer than that year, 6 months. So don't forget to enjoy the process, because it's a lot of struggle. But once the struggle, once the hard work like comes in fruition, you're going to feel a lot better. So I enjoyed CLAT. I was also, I kind of shot myself in the foot, because I was getting a little worried once I saw the paper. When I saw the paper itself, I realized that okay, I'm gone for, because it's so simple. Others are also, but AILET, I had more confidence in myself, which which was. Which helped me. It was a lot more low stakes, is what I'd call it. I walked on, I strolled into the exam. It was pretty chill for me. I didn't feel like I had the pressure of like 9 months banking on me, because I hadn't worried about it. But just be very calm when you write the exam. AILET's English is usually, it's a lot of fun. It tests you. Tests you on foreign words, prefixes, suffixes, idioms. But that's really fun to learn if you figure out how to. It's a lot of fun. And if you I'm sure you guys must all be reading the newspaper and reading other novels, reading all the mock exam passages and all. So they're not testing you on something that's so out of curriculum or syllabus. It's quite simple once you get to it. The paragraphs are also some pretty decent ones. GK. Then after this, I went on GK. GK. I think I must have. I think I left a few questions which I wasn't very sure about. I answered the questions I was pretty sure of first, and then I came back to it after finishing GK, and after that, after AR, I came back to GK again in case that there's something else that I wanted to cement my answer on. So GK's AILET's GK picks up, I think, more conventional GK. It's not like CLAT, where CLAT picks themes about let's say polity or economy. They pick a bunch of themes. AILET picks more conventional topics. I think they pick topics from closer to when the actual exam starts. So and you all must have been intensely reading the paper. So GK is also good like that, AILET wise. And then I moved on to AR. AR this time I think compared to 2023, AILET 2023, I think had more what do I call it, more pen and paper AR as opposed to syllogisms or verbal assumptions and all of that. So that was not my strong suit. Syllogisms and all of verbal AR was something I was better at. So I enjoyed this paper a little more. But don't worry at all. It's not as hard as it looks like. And exams, especially a competitive exam, it's a matter of I understand there's a lot banking on D-Day and all of that. D-Day, your emotions, your mindset on that day. But exams like sports and all are matter of muscle memory. You guys, I'm sure all of you must have already started your Sunday mock giving or Saturday mock giving process. So just think of it as another mock exam. So even if your mind is kind of fizzled out or you lose the paper, your body is used to writing between this time to that time. You're used to writing the mocks. So even if you're feeling fast, your body will take over. Don't worry.
Yeah.
My AILET mocks were, I was attempting them in the strategy wise, the same way I told you, with the English GK and AR. So the thing about increasing the mock scores is that mocks, it's not a linear it's not a one-time process at all. We're going to face a lot of ups and downs, and in my case, more downs than ups at least. So at least giving all these mocks was actually more than preparing for the exam. It was a test of resilience, because you've studied so much, and then next week also if your mock scores kind of go down, it can be disheartening. But don't worry, your mock scores are not going to improve over time. There's a slow process, and it will gradually happen. I know it's very simple when I say it like that, but you'll also see it. So maybe for GK, I'm assuming all of you are working on like a constant basis, and every day you guys must be practicing. That's good enough. Be sure to, the day before you give your AILET mock, or the day before, a few days before, start revising. Learning GK is really important. Learning or reading GK is important. Revising it is even more important, because you must have done it once, but it should come back to you just as easily. And on that note, just make sure that when you make notes or something, make sure that it's done in a way that I used to, at one point in time, I used to just scribble down my notes or scribble down GK notes. This is not sustainable long time at all for me in the mocks, or when I wanted to revise my GK, because I might have been able to read it then, but my handwriting, I couldn't decipher it a year later, or I didn't even know where the revision thing was for me to find it. So maybe if you guys make digital notes, do that. I was using digital notes after a point of time. Or if you're doing them on a pen and paper, if you're making them handwritten, make sure that it's written clearly and pick the important parts. Write them down in a concise way that you can when you go back in time and you want to look at it, maybe you can say maybe for some time before a mock, you can just pick it up in 5 minutes and that you can go through it. AR is also solely because how many AR and GK they have English at least. AR has a lot of topics, or even GK has a lot of topics. So they're not things you can just expect to go from good to better to best in a matter of 1 week or 2 weeks. They're easily a 2 or 3 or 4 month process for you to actually see. Improvement in mocks is important, but that improvement should stay there. Once, let's say, at maybe at I think around September, October, I was getting. I was getting maybe in I'll talk about CLAT now. CLAT I was getting 70, 75. Suddenly my score used to go up to 90. I used to be overjoyed. This led to me being complacent after some time. I gave myself my own reality check when the next mock because you're happy, you're like, oh wow, my prep is finally amounting to something. I can be happy, but you should also ensure that you go in the same flow. That for your prep to come so far, you obviously worked hard. That hard work should still sustain, because after me getting a really high mark, it used to dip back to 70, 75, 80. So that's a little heartbreaking when it happens like that. So just go treat joys and sorrows mock-wise or mock-mark-wise in the same way. That yes, I'm glad if your marks are good, great, they're good. So I need to keep focusing on them. And if your marks are bad, marks are bad, it's the same thing. They're bad. That doesn't mean they're going to be bad for the next mock or the next. Just because of yes, mock marks are a good indicator of how your prep is or where you're at. But just don't underestimate yourself. Don't think that just because you've gotten like an 80 or 70, 80 in an AILET mock, that that's how you're going to do on D-Day. Don't. It's really easy with all the prep, with all the with the rigor of daily prep. You think that okay, I'm not going anywhere. What is this? It's really easy to become a self-deprecating mess, which is what I was doing. I was getting around. What do you call? I think I was getting 90, 95, hundreds, early hundreds in AILET. In AILET 2024, I got a 109 out of 150. My mock marks were at kind of they started off at I think 80, then they moved on to 90, and they never really crossed 100, 102. But I was getting that slowly towards the end of my prep. A newspaper. What I used to stick to, at least from a GK point of view in a newspaper, was that there are many topics. I'm sure you guys are seeing that there are topics that go for 2 or 3 or 4 weeks even. So those are the kind of macro topics that you need to focus on. Pick out, maybe make a doc. It's a little easier when you do it online, because you can always go back and edit it. When you're writing it down on paper, there won't be space for you to add stuff and all. Or you could just write it down as a separate topic altogether if you're sure that you want to make written notes. So I look at start off with the newspaper, because every other GK source is using the newspaper as its base. So start off with the newspaper, write down the important topics for whatever you think is important, whatever is coming up in mocks, all of that, write it down. And then go do your own preliminary research about the things that are coming in the paper. That more because different if it's coming in the newspaper at like let's say 6 o'clock in the morning, by 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. Like 50 other news articles would have come up. Don't go deep into the rabbit hole of finding a lot of finding so much info that you can't do any other topic. It's really tempting to just go look into one topic, or it's hard to come out of that rabbit hole once you started researching. But there are also other topics. There's like if just don't focus on one thing is what I'm saying. Just get to a point where you're happy and you feel like you've gotten at least first a basic understanding, and then slightly after that focus on a little more comprehensive GK. Don't mug up GK. That was a mistake I was doing. You're never ever going to be. I know I sound like a pessimist, but the volume of GK is too much that none of that will stay in your head. It will stay in your head for the first 1 day, 2 days. Then even the basic facts will also leave your mind once more GK starts piling up. So just focus on the basics, pick up something a little more important. And the mocks will also have things that once you start giving the mocks, or in the Flames mocks itself, you'll see what focus on what they're asking you for. Why did this happen, or who was involved in this? Once you start seeing all those questions, you'll realize what they're asking for, what are they looking for. As question wise, what you expected to remember. You can also refer to CLAT or AILET PYQs when you do that. You get a sense of what kind of questions or what they want from you, or what they think is important, because we might think something is important and the consortium or NLUD Delhi might think something else is important entirely altogether. So have a look at that. Start off by seeing what they're asking for, and when you look at a new topic, maybe figure out the what. There's a list, right? The what, the why, the where, the how, the when. Start off with that's a good point to start off. And how does this, and maybe another added step you can do if it's an important topic, or if it's been coming many days in newspapers. Why is this coming up so many times? How is it relating to whatever else is coming around? So that would be important to check. So what were you doing? What were you doing for GK questions? Like, were you referring to any compendium or websites? I was using first foremost newspaper. I've also been lazy with the newspaper. I understand it's really it's a pain to look at sometimes, but it's really I cannot I'm sure you guys also gotten this advice like 1,000 times already. So did I. I can't like stress the importance of the newspaper enough. Make sure you do that. And newspaper is also good from an editorial point of view, or it'll help you with the other sections as well. Because once you get used to, or you get the hang of reading the newspaper, like subjects like English or subjects like verbal reasoning, they're not things that you can learn the way you can go GK, or you can't pick it up like that. There's things that you slowly need to get the hang of. Because once you start reading, you'll understand that this is the right grammar, or this sounds grammatically incorrect. That's how I was focusing on my English part of both CLAT and AILET. I was focusing on reading more than learning, because learning can be done at almost any time, but things like this need practice, and they require you to actually read more. It's only when you read more, you know what sounds right, or what sounds good, that this sentence sounds correct, or this sentence sounds incorrect. There are things that you only get the hang of once you've looked at enough sentences to kind of gauge that this is right, this is wrong. So it's important that you do the newspaper. CLAT, Kautilya, and the GK show shots were really, really good. By GK, I don't need to tell you this, and I'm sure you guys must already be knowing firsthand how awesome they are. They were really helpful. CR also, this is also something maybe what you can do. What I was doing is, I had started off with the mocks itself. I didn't really start off with theory of CR, which it worked out okay, but it's best. I did that eventually. I had to go back to the theory of CR because a critical reason, because I realized that they're asking for things which I don't. They were asking for an assumption or an inference, and you're in a position where you're like, what is an assumption? What is an inference? Only when you really, really understand what they're asking for, can you actually deliver or you can figure out what the answer is. So maybe start off with the theory. Shanu sir takes great classes. So start off with the theory, revise the theory, and practice those questions. Let's say you've studied weakening or strengthening questions. Maybe find 5-6 sets. Don't do it all at once. Practice over some time so that you don't get burnt out. It can get really, really exhausting when you've started doing one thing and you have to keep doing it for a few hours. It can be really mentally tiring, physically tiring also. So just start off and give it some time. Maybe practice like maybe 3 sets a day, then maybe go back to 2 days later, practice more sets. So be systematic in your approach. There are different topics, so maybe start off with what's easier, and then you can slowly up the level of complexity. Because even you also once you get the hang of the basic questions, you will also start getting a little frustrated. You're like, oh, I already know how to do this. What is so? It's important that you up the ante for yourself. That you should be your own biggest competitor. You guys all have competitors, but you should start off with you. It's the best place to start. AILET mocks, I think I was taking it once a week. CLAT, I was taking 2 or 3 times a week. AILET, the thing about AILET is even the coaching institutions, a lot of the big name ones are focusing on CLAT. So you don't. So you're kind of forced to refer to the past year ones, and the format is a little different from the previous. So I used to give them like once a week. I found that was okay for me. I was also practicing sectionals. So that lacuna between not practicing, not doing like 2 or 3 mocks a week can be filled by sectionals, and it's okay. It's pretty simple. I'm not gonna put a set time limit per se for an AR question, because different some questions you could figure it out in like 10-20 seconds, but some will take 1 minute or 2 minutes. So don't go in with this kind of set time set that this is how much I'll allot. But if you feel like you're taking maybe more than 30 seconds, 45 seconds, or even a minute, I would recommend you come back later if you feel that you're struggling so far. Because what happens is when it's a kind of a high risk, low return situation when you put in so much time and then you realize that none of your answers are matching with any of the answers. So move on to things that you can kind of easily find the answers for, and then come back to the AR. It look clearer also, because when you're attempting the first range or the first few sets of AR, you're really worried, you're nervous about the upcoming AR questions, because you're like, oh my gosh, what if I don't know the next topic? Finish this. If you can't do it, come back to it at the end of the paper. You'll be a lot more relaxed. It'll be a lot easier also. Great question. I might not also be the best person for answering this, was because I started off with really like high and mighty plans, and I will do this daily. I'll do 1 hour of this daily. I'll do 3 hours of this daily. That was not something that worked in my favor. Maybe what I'd recommend is just do it in a way that you can first figure out what your strengths and weaknesses are. That's the first thing you should do, to figure out how much time you should allocate to everything. And I can do this in this much time, or this is how much I need more time for this, or I won't need as much time for this because I've already kind of gotten the hang of it. So what you can do is pick what I was doing is the subjects that I was finding a little harder. That was AR or GK. I was kind of doing in the morning, and then the also depletes like that. So the things that I was finding a little more easier, it was what I kind of left towards like the end of the day. So that's how I was kind of making a schedule. So it's a loaded question, and it's a very relatable question also, because your mind is like fluctuating from 0 to 100 every day, from both your performances and the expectation part that the person mentioned is very, very true. Because if you've already taken a drop, and everyone's asking you like, oh, how's your prep going, or oh, this time this year it'll happen, no beta. And I was like, oh gosh, it can get very, very overwhelming like that. What you should don't maybe the first thing I'd mention is don't forget to take breaks. I understand that you've taken a year off, or you're taking so much time to prep that it's really tempting to just go full speed. What happens when you do this is that you'll burn out like even faster. So the same tempo that you start with, it'll just go down to a complete zero, because you're sick of doing it eventually. Just make sure that you come to a balance, and just think that not the end of the world. I understand it's simple for me to say this also from here, because when I got my class results, it was virtually the end of the world. But just don't worry, that there is always an option. There are many law schools, and even more than that, just don't underestimate yourself also, because you guys are in flames. You're getting the best possible faculty, best possible material, awesome doubtering, and even your peer group also. They're really charged, motivated people. Just help each other through these times, and talk to your family. Don't miss out on these family experiences or family bonding time just to prep, because after this, when you go to college, you'll be like, oh, I spent so much time for my prep that now I missed all these memories, and that I feel like I lost that connect. Just don't worry about it. It'll all fall in place. So this is a question I and a lot of my batchmates had asked our seniors or asked faculty as well. And what they've told and what has actually worked is, when you realize you're at an impasse, that's don't try to just go back and like robotically read the same thing. That was what I was doing at the start of my prep, and when I realized that I kind of missed it, I used to go back again to the same passage. Don't do that. Maybe move on to the next passage, or just take a water. You guys must all be having your water bottles with you. Just take like a 10-second break. just take maybe a 10, 20-second break. Don't worry at all. You might have zoned out for a bit. That doesn't mean that the rest of your hours are. And just because this is also important, just because one section you feel that you've underperformed or that has not gone very well, don't walk into that mindset to the other sections. It's really simple. It's really simple to think that oh gosh, this section has gone well. That means I'm going to screw up my legal. I'm going to screw up my AR. Don't go on like that. Every section, it will have varying levels of intensity and prepared also. So you don't need to worry. It's easy to go blank, but just take some time. You can go back to the paper. Just go back to another question. Go to another section itself. You find yourself at an impasse like that. So first things, you got Shanu sir. Shanu sir is the biggest source of motivation you guys need, because I'm sure sir also remembered. I think twice or thrice I've called him saying, sir, I can't do this anymore, sir. Please let me go, sir. Because I was really worried. But every time he used to call me and he used to say, no, don't worry at all. That we're here for you. The claims is here for you. And it's when you're in a place like this, when you feel like your motivation is low. What's important to recognize that you know a lot more than you think you do. It's easy to think that, oh, I don't know this topic, that, oh, I don't know this concept, but you know 100 other concepts. You shouldn't discount your previous knowledge just because you don't know something now. You guys have so much time left. You have a lot of time left now. So you needn't worry at all. It's just stay calm. Good question. First thing, reading speed. Speed is also a byproduct of practice. So once you practice more and more, or you've read more and more, it comes very naturally to you. Your comprehension level and your speed will, as you practice more, will increase. Naturally, will increase. Maybe you guys might not be seeing it now, but maybe in the next 1 month, 2 months, you'll see that your speed has actually increased. That your even as your speed has increased, that you're able to understand all of it also. So it's a matter of practice. That will take a little time. So don't worry. Analyzing questions for AR is first. See, there are different kinds of questions that people. What I used to do when there were topics that I could not understand at all. I used to leave that, and I used to come back at the end of the paper or after the mock when I used to analyze it. First, learn if you already know the topic. Figure out why you couldn't understand that question. Was the topic that you didn't know, or was it some subfacet that you hadn't learned about yet, or did you just get it wrong? So the answer to all of, at least if you knew and you got it wrong, is a matter of revision. You'll have to go back and you'll have to just try again. If it's something that you don't know at all, that's happened many times to me in AR mocks, in AILET mocks, when the AR was like a completely new slate for me. Just go and learn. Start from the basics and slowly move on. That's what I'd say. What I was doing, or what a lot of people do, I think they start with their strengths first. It's when you're already good at something, you'll naturally be a little faster at it. So I started off with English. It was because English is also, you guys used to, all CLAT has 3 reading sections, AILET has this, so you're naturally used to this. So maybe what I was doing was I kept kind of 45-50 minutes for this and GK, because GK will also, GK is very binary. Either you know or you don't know, and if there are things that you're a little you're not sure that it's either A or C, then you can come back to that later after you're done. So just maybe finish off, at least in my experience, finishing off English and GK first worked out for me. Then the rest of the time I devoted to AR, so that I could get, because it's a matter of working out. It's like math where it's either right, it's either wrong. So that took me a little more time. So the rest of the time you can give to AR. And
What was your actual attempt on the D-Day of AILET?
I believe I think I attempted 139 questions for Moto.
Okay.
139 or 140.
Have you guys noted the question? She already left 11 question out of 150. She just attempted 139 and she got a score of 108, right, Shreya?
109.
109. Check the accuracy. Okay, note it down, everyone. This is something which you guys have to ask the genuine question, right? What was her attempt? What was her accuracy level on that day? What was her attempt during the mocks? Yeah, what was your attempt during the mocks?
My attempts, I'd actually I'd actually went a lot more. I played safe. Actually I should have done the other way. I played safe on the mocks. Rightly, I should have been risky in the mocks. I should have been attempting things. I think I must have attempted what 125, 130 questions in AILET mocks, and then AILET I went and I just attempted like close to 140 questions. But that was because the answers also I felt were correct. Don't recklessly answer things just for the heck of answering, but get a good ratio of definitely correct, and you're kind of 60% sure it's correct, then I think you can go.
Okay. One very interesting question. Is it really important to have a communication skill or English command like Shreya did to qualify elite?
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Blushing a little bit now. See, not really. It's completely written exam. As long as you can picture that in your brain, as in how do I say it? If your written communication skills are good or your comprehension of skills is good, it should be good enough. But thank you so much. That's really sweet of you.
So let me tell you, maybe she had a good command on English when she were preparing her, right? When she was preparing her, but she was not good the way she was right now in a communication skill. She was also a kind of inferiority complex at how to ask. So it's just because of the law school. And NLU Delhi groom her well, right, on her personality. The kind of grooming which you can see right now.
Actually, just want to intercept here. I thought I'd never ask questions in class, in flames itself. I used to never ask because I was a real scaredy cat, and I was here also. I realized that right now for you guys, this is the best opportunity for you to start asking questions and be confident, because law school has like I think for one concept, like 20 people ask questions and you're looking like, oh gosh, I haven't asked any questions. Am I really not understanding? So there will be a lot of FOMO. Start asking your questions now itself. Be confident. The teacher knows that you're here to learn. They're not going to make fun of you. If they're making fun of you, that's on them. That's not on you. So don't worry. Just be comfortable in a classroom setting.
So guys, there are lots of people who are in NLU Delhi. एंड दैट्स द फैक्ट दैट एनलेस बैंगलोर के कंपेरिजन में एनएलयू दिल्ली का सिलेक्शन यहाँ से हमेशा ज्यादा है. वी ऑलवेज टू गिव मोर सिलेक्शन इन एनएलयू दिल्ली एज कंपेयर टू द एनलेस बैंगलोर, राइट? So make sure that you guys have to understand that what kind of potential you have. You have to first of all believe in yourself, right? Believe is something which is more powerful than anything else. So just trust the process, enjoy the process, and you can reach out to Shreya at any point of time. She would love to take care of you. I know her very well. So I hope that that would be the something of the summary of the session, what she told. So first of all, again, thank you so much, Shreya. And it's really good to see you, man. It's really good to see you. And the kind of zeal, the kind of energy, the kind of changes is really good. That's why I used to say that NLU Delhi is best, because the kind of changes which I can see in your personality is something very, very amazing. So you guys have to be there in just after 1 year, right? Not 1 year, less than that. How is NLU Delhi?
Really nice. The campus is beautiful, and maybe this is a funny thing to mention, but it's fully like there is there is only AC, so it's a really comfortable campus like that, and it's really green, and it's a lovely place to walk around at night. So it's beautiful. Oh, Arnav's in the library now, so
Yeah.
he said he can show
Arnav, please do it, man. Arnav can say, no, show the library of NLU Delhi. Arnav, please do it, man.
the library is beautiful. Awesome.
Good, man.
It's really a peak place to study also, because so many other people studying around you.
See, NLU Delhi library. Akash is there, Arnav. Akash है ना? Okay, Akash is there. So good to see. Akash is there. Okay. Goosebumps आए? That's the power, right? So guys, just focus hard, and thank you so much, Arnav, to do that. See, Arnav के पीछे किसका फोटो है? Tell me, guys. Right?
B.R. Ambedkar.
Yeah. Just try to understand the concept of B.R. Ambedkar, beta. You will have a great journey in your life. Try to understand his contribution in the field of law, his contribution in making of the Constitution of India. Right? Try to read those things, right? You will understand the potential of any person in our society, right? So that's something from my side. Thank you so much once again, Shreya. Thank you. It means a lot, man. It means a lot.
Thank you so much, guys. All the best.